SwissBorg is the official partner of my channel where you can buy, sell, hold and more importantly stake your cryptocurrencies. You can even earn yield on your stablecoins. Sign up with my link and you'll earn up to $100 worth of their native token CHSB just for depositing €50 worth of crypto. SwissBorg! Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at the pump and potentially the dump. So it's not for me to say that this is the top, but you know, what was it? We're Thursday now, aren't we? Yeah, Thursday. That's what happens when you're a trader. You don't even know what day it is. Not especially a crypto trader. So yeah, we're potentially topped out, I would say, at this point now. Now we might go for another little sort of chaos run. The daily would definitely permit that. I'm not saying that it's definitely the top, but as far as me and my strategy is concerned, this is it for now, and it's time to sit back and relax. If we do continue up, I'm happy to watch and wait and see, because primarily as a trader, you want to make a trade with good risk to reward. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this is the top target that I was aiming for all of my trades across the board, for all of my alts, and everything was all based around hitting this particular level. And I'll stick to my guns, and I'm basically at this point now, not including hodl stuff. Hodl stuff's different, you know. Obviously, when you're hodling, you're exposed to the max. But when it comes to all the trades that I've done since the well, we'll call it the alt season began, but over the last since September, October, all of those entries, all the way down there, they're all out, all gone now. That's it, finished. So if it does continue, which it might, I will not be tempted to jump back in on this. If it really starts rallying and everyone's going to call you paper hands, I will not FOMO. What I'll be looking for now is a nice bit of time off. Not from YouTube, obviously. I'll always give my 2 cents on YouTube. We've got to evaluate the market every day, regardless. But as far as looking and seeking for trades at this point now, not really a fan. Now, obviously, the main thing is going to be this divergence, which is almost certainly going to kick in by Sunday. When we close this candle body, either at this level or higher, as long as it's higher than the previous candle body, that's a major drive of bearish divergence on your money flow index. Now, you might not think that's a great deal, but it is. This is the one that reminds me of where we are right now. This is the beginning of the bull market 2019. It was short, it was fast, and we got relatively overheated, and we managed to peak around 96. It was kind of common to see Bitcoin peaking around those areas back then because the volume wasn't anything like this. 5 billion in a day just on Binance alone. So, you know, you get to see spikes from the bottom to the top. You also see bigger gains. But if we can just look at this and recognize what it is that I'm looking at here. So we find an overheated read, which was up here at the 96, and then you get your bearish divergence tick, which was on this candle body wick. The wick. This was the one. This was your horizontal area of resistance. This is where, I'm gonna lie, I took profit on this bit here. I remember it clearly. It was a Saturday. I was in Scotland. I was at somebody's wedding, and I did not want to be one of those douchebags that stays on their phone all the time, regardless of how bullish and crazy the market was at the time. So I respectfully closed my trades at this particular area, and I did look at my phone after a few whiskies, I can't deny that, and I was watching it go up and I was like, well, so be it, it is what it is. And then I looked at my phone, I suppose, a couple of days afterwards, and I was like, yes! Then it wicked up again, I was like, oh! And then it went down, I was like, yes, 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 yes. And we bought it back around these areas, around the 6,008 to 6,600 zone. Look, I'm not saying that this is the sort of thing that's definitely going to happen, but my expectation is that it will. Is it going to happen tonight? Maybe not. Is it going to happen next week? I don't know. What about the week after that? I don't know. But look, we've been trending up for a prolonged period of time now. If anyone remembers this peak over here, do you remember this peak? The all-time high. Remember the sentiment around here? We had Coinbase going live. You had Matt Damon ruling the airwaves, telling everyone to be brave. It was institutional bull market time. We're going to 100,000 guys. Going to 1 million. No, we weren't. In fact, we actually, went to like 16,000. So look, I've sounded like a bit of a bear for a while now, and it's not the case. I've been in open trades. I've been very clear about the trades that I've had open and my expectations of those. If Bitcoin gets to this level, I will pull the plug whether they're in profit or not. For the record, they were all in profit, but some of them were absolutely dreadful. They were not very profitable, but they all made profit. They didn't get anywhere near their top targets, which is fine. Profit is profit, and now it's sitting comfortably in real US dollars. Now, I've got nothing against Tether. I'm just putting it out there. I love Tether. We all love Tether. But if I expect to be in a prolonged downtrend, I won't call it a bear market, but if I'm expecting, which is what I am expecting, for the most part of this year, if I'm expecting a prolonged downtrend, I should also expect some FUD, right? I'm going to expect the FUD. And the FUD could come in all different shapes and sizes. Some of them could be exchanges, Oh, they're illiquid, they're going down. Overexposed, goodbye Qcoin, or something like that. Or it could be the SEC are going after Tether, and they've got the dirt on them this time. They're going to do them for every penny they've got. Can you imagine what that'll happen? What would happen to crypto to start with? Big, devastating plunge down to the depths. And then, guess what? Buyback. With real money, ETF style, So I don't want to be stuck in Tether just in case that happens. I'm not saying that it would. But also, let's just be realistic. Tether is a trading tool, right? You trade Tether, the volume's there, liquidity's there. But it's not a great thing to hodl, is it? Let's face it. There is risk with that. Now, more to the subject on dollars in general. The dollar is not a great thing to be holding as of this very moment in time. Where is the dollar? It's sitting around here somewhere. The Dixie. The Dixie is getting rejected. It's still within the triangle formation. You can see that actually working out pretty neatly. Actually, had this triangle in here. This triangle is not all that it seems. This triangle was basically a moving average type of triangle. I just drew it in here over on the last stream on Tuesday, just to give an example of what I'm expecting to see, and we can get rid of it just so you can see exactly what is going on. We're going from the 50 to the 200 and then back down again. So it is effectively a symmetrical triangle that's looking to break one way or another, up to the top, down to the bottom, up to the top, down to 50-50, isn't it really? I would make the case that it's probably more likely to break down. To be honest, it's probably more likely to break down, which means that dollars will go down, which could add a little bit of extra fuel to the fire when it comes to crypto and stocks and everybody else. But when we start to scrape these lows again, which I think we probably will, then it might be reversal time, which will add at that point. And I'm talking over the higher term time frames, not talking like this week, maybe not even next week. I don't know, but we are looking for a bit of downside on the dollar, maybe here, maybe even lower. This is all going to be good for, I suppose, a further upside if we get it. But the reversal will kick in at some point soon. Now, the Dixie is likely to remain in this kind of area for the majority of this year. It might even run itself back up towards the top of this range. But later on, maybe towards the end of this year, maybe into next year, it's going to end up down here somewhere, in the mid-90s. And that will mark the peak of basically the crypto bull run. So until further notice, this is what I'll be looking for, something like this. Let's just imagine there's something like this, and we make our way up, and it's around these areas later on. And again, don't think about this as, he said July, he said August. I'm not saying that, I'm just giving you an idea of what I think the Dixie is going to do. Once it runs its way back up to a major area where we're looking for a reversal, basically the opposite of what's going on right now, and then we'll be looking to get back into crypto, stocks, the whole shebang, for where we finally bottom out and go, basically back into a bear market, basically. So it's a bit of a long drawn out video. Hopefully it makes some kind of sense to you. I don't want to be clear really about what it is that I'm doing, because this isn't me sort of making calls. This YouTube channel is never really about me making specific calls. If you ever want to get a YouTube channel, you have to have somebody, somebody who's going to watch it. You've got to put a stupid picture of yourself going, oh my god, and you've got to call out, I suppose, your successes, so people recognise that you get it right more than you get it wrong. because there's a load of douchebags out there just like me, isn't there? Really, we're all trying to get some views, but I mean, realistically, from a trading perspective, this is not for me at this point right now. This is not an attractive level for me. Now, what is interesting is the continued strength on Ethereum, and I wish it the best of luck. We've got a trend signal on the Ichimoku cloud for breaking out above resistance and everything like that. But as I've said on the Patreon, and I must have mentioned it at some point on my normal videos, there is a $28,000 zone roughly where I'd be looking to see this get knocked down, and if it does surpass that, then really we are looking at all the way up here, and then that is going to mark the absolute end of Ethereum. So what is that? What is that trade we're looking at here? So we're first of all looking for a further 8% to a maximum target of around 38%. That's decent. Recognize that is a top target. Now, I don't want to sound ungrateful here, but I'm not really into 38%, to be honest, especially after what we've just gone through. I like the hundreds of percents, and I'm not suggesting that we should all be chasing hundreds of percents, but that's my deal, really. I'm more into that. And we're not really, I just don't see that we're going to be getting hundreds of percents from this area right now. You'll find some altcoins that probably do. But, if Ethereum is the barometer of the altcoin market, alongside the total 2 and the total 3, then we are more or less reaching the top on this one, I would say. And again, within a 20, 30, 40, 50% range. I like 30%. There's only 10% left to go as on total 2. I like 10%. I like 30%. I like 50%. But I prefer hundreds of percents. And I just don't see it's going to happen from this area. Bitcoin dominance chart as well, just to wrap it up. Dominance chart has done a V-shape, well, not quite a V-shape recovery, but basically a golden cross retest. And now we're coming back down to a center of this Bollinger Band, really. If we're going to get another reaction on Bitcoin, it's going to be around here, 52% dominant. It's not just a non-area as well. I don't know if anyone recalls, but 52% actually does ring a bell, really, on this chart. Around the 52, so it's this previous high over here, really. So we're looking for around 52% dominance to get retested and then bounce from there. And a bounce on the dominance chart could come in the form of a pullback across all markets, across the entire crypto market. It might be a breakout on Bitcoin. It could be anything. I'm just saying, from a risk to reward perspective, this is not a chart that favors further upside on altcoins either. And just to bring up a few, I mean, these are just the remaining trades that I had going on. Let's have a look at these weeklies. Holy shiznizzle. That's a 96 on ICP. I doubt EOS will be anything near that. No, EOS is not near that at all. Chainlink. Chainlink actually looking quite good still, to be honest with you. Atom quite high, but still further to go. XRP, I know this one well. This has got further to go if it wants to. So I'm not calling the absolute peak on everything. Absolutely not. Like I said, we could see 10 to 50% gains on some of these altcoins, no problem whatsoever. But I've got a very large cash position right now, and I intend to keep it that way, probably for maybe even a couple of quarters. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Obviously, this can all change on a whim, and I can start getting sort of majorly bullish again. And if certain things do rear their heads and it does look particularly like interesting or attractive to make a trade, I will make them. But overall, I think the bulk of my funds now are better off in dollars for probably quite a long period. Sorry to ruin the party there, guys, but that's the deal for me. And again, it's not because I don't see further upside. It's not that at all. It's that the risk versus the reward is not good enough for me to pile in, I'm not going to say how much, but obviously quite a lot of money. I need that money to live. I want that money for myself. I don't want to start throwing it away, trying to chase, a 50%. Which again, I sound ungrateful, but I'm not gonna risk losing based on that. I want to buy lower, as we did earlier on in the year, last year. I want to buy lower like I did back then. These are high prices. Give me the low prices. Give me the bullish divergence on the highest term time frame you've got, and I will buy those. And I will sail it up to the moon. Right, thanks for watching. I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.